Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Today we are going to talk about astrocyte versus satellite. As we know that from the lecture number 1, this is the lecture number 3 of the neuroglia. From the lecture number 1, we know that astrocyte, satellite are the types of the neuroglial cell. What is neuroglial cell? Neuroglial cell are the supporting cell of the neuron. There are two types of cell in the nervous system. One is neuron and the other is neuroglial cell. So these are the supporting cell. These neuron are the impulse generating cell, but these are non-excitable cell. Neuroglial cell, as we know that have many types: astrocyte, satellite, Schwann cell, oligodendrocyte, uh, radial cell, ependymal cell. So these are the types of the neuroglial cell. Okay, but in this lecture we will discuss what is astrocyte, what is satellite. What is astrocyte? Astrocyte number 1, this is the neuroglial cell. This is the supporting cell of the central nervous system of the spinal cord and the brain. Okay, astrocyte are star-shaped cell of the CNS, are the supporting cell, are the star-shaped supporting cell of the CNS, which have many branchings. So there are two types of astrocyte. One is called fibrous astrocyte and the other is called protoplasmic astrocyte. Number 1, fibrous. Fibrous astrocyte. What is mean by fibrous astrocyte? Fibrous astrocyte are astrocyte which have long, cylindrical and smooth process. As you know that astrocyte, this is astrocyte. Astrocyte have many and this is the astrocyte cell. Astrocyte cell have many branching. So the fibrous astrocyte are the astrocyte which have long, cylindrical and smooth branches extension. Okay, fibrous astrocyte are mainly present. This astrocyte is present in the neurofiber. Suppose this is one neuron. This is one neuron. This is another. This is another. So the fiber of the neuron cell are supported by the fibrous astrocyte. Fibrous astrocyte is present in the fibrous part of the neuron, but the protoplasmic astrocyte are the astrocyte which support the cell body of the neuron. So there are present many of the mini neuron. So the cell body of the neuron are supported by the protoplasmic protoplasmic astrocyte. Okay, protoplasmic astrocyte are uh, multiple branching cell, multiple branching cell, short branching cell, and uh, which and cover the cell body of the neuron. Okay, but the fibrous astrocyte have long and cylindrical, have long, smooth and cylindrical fibrous. Okay, so these are the two types of the fibrous astrocyte. What is the function of the fibrous astrocyte? Fibrous astrocyte, as we know that these are the supporting cell of the neuron. Neuron are the impulse generating cell, but neuroglial cell astrocyte are the supporting cell of the neuron. What is the function? Function number 1, potassium regulation. Astrocyte are the cell which regulate potassium level inside and outside of the cell. As we know that uh, potassium are more in concentration inside the cell. This is the cell. As we know that potassium is a bag of the cell. Every cell of the body is a bag of the potassium. So every cell of the body have large number of potassium inside and least number outside. And sodium is more outside and potassium is more inside. So the astrocyte cell regulate the concentration of the potassium between the neuron and the extracellular space. Suppose this is a neuron. This is the condition: high potassium level outside of the cell. This is the abnormal condition. In the normal condition, potassium are more inside, but this is the abnormal condition. When the potassium is more outside, then the astrocyte, this is the astrocyte uh, engulf astrocyte store the potassium. So there the amount of the potassium again become low. So when the potassium is there very low, so the astrocyte give again potassium. Okay, so it maintain, astrocyte maintain the potassium level inside and outside of the cell. Okay, this is the potassium regulation. Another function of the astrocyte is the remove excess of neurotransmitter. As we know that this is the synaptic nerve, this is the dendritic spine, this is neuron number 1 part, neuron number 2 part. Okay, impulse from one neuron is transferred to another neuron with the help of the neurotransmitter. So these are the neurotransmitter. When released, when neurotransmitter is released here, this neurotransmitter is attached with a specific receptor on the dendritic spine, so it produces impulse and the next neuron. Okay, so this neurotransmitter is need to be removed from the synaptic cleft. So this neurotransmitter is removed from the synaptic cleft in some ways. This neurotransmitter is go toward the blood vessel, and through this blood vessel, this neurotransmitter again go to the synaptic nerve. This is the one way. Another way, this neurotransmitter is directly enter into the synaptic nerve. This is mechanism number 1. This is mechanism number 2. Neurotransmitter directly enter to the synaptic nerve. Mechanism number 3 is the role of the astrocyte. Astrocyte get this neurotransmitter with a specific receptor on its ending point. This is the astrocyte end fit. Astrocyte end fit have a specific receptor for the getting of the neurotransmitter. So the when astrocyte get neurotransmitter, then the astrocyte digest the neurotransmitter. Then this digested content is go back to the synaptic nerve, and here these digested content again combine together by a special reaction and again make neurotransmitter. So another function of the astrocyte is the remove excess of neurotransmitter. Okay, another function of the astrocyte is the glycogen reserve. It means it store glycogen. As you know that our body, our brain, about 120, suppose 120 mg of glucose used by our body, then 100 mg is used by the brain and 20 is used by the other body part. So our body only depend for the glucose. So brain need every time a constant level of the glucose. So astrocyte help in the uh, storage of the glucose, storage of the glycogen. Okay, this is the, suppose this is the blood vessel, this is the blood capillary, this is the glucose transporter one. When the glucose when the these are the glucose, when glucose is come out with the help of the glucose transporter one, then this glucose directly go to the neuron. This is the neuron, and the glucose is go on its own pathway, pyruvate, Krebs cycle, and electron transport chain, and produce ATP. So this is the direct pathway for the reaction of the, this is the direct pathway for the production of ATP. When there is excess of glucose, when there come excess of glucose, then the excess of glucose is convert into glycogen by the astrocyte. This is the astrocyte which convert the extra of the glucose into glycogen for the future. Okay, glucose go toward the, this is the storeway, this is the direct way. This is the storeway of the extra glucose. Glucose enter to the astrocyte. Glucose is converted into the, there are two processes occur. Glucose convert into glycogen for the future, or glucose is converted to the lactate. Then the glycogen, when blood need glucose, when blood glucose level is fall down, then the stored glycogen, here the stored glycogen is converted into the pyruvate, and then the pyruvate is converted into the lactate. So the lactate is then go toward the neuron. Okay, here it store glycogen when blood when brain glucose level low down, the glycogen is converted into pyruvate. Pyruvate is again converted into lactate. This is the direct way, this is the indirect way. So the lactate is recycled to the neuron. This is the pathway during starvation. This is the starvation pathway. This is the direct pathway. This is the fasting starvation pathway. So the lactate is converted into the pyruvate and the Krebs cycle ATP produced. Okay, so this is the another function of the astrocyte. Another function, blood-brain barrier. Astrocyte help in the blood-brain barrier, support to neuron, nutrition to neuron. I skip these three functions because these three functions is mainly connected with the blood-brain barrier topic. So these three functions are, inshallah, I will explain in big detail in my next lecture by the blood-brain barrier. So these three functions you clear from my the next topic, the blood-brain barrier. Okay, these three functions are mainly connected to the blood-brain barrier, blood-spinal barrier topic. Okay, so this is the function of the astrocyte. What is satellite? What is the satellite? Astrocyte is the supporting cell of the central nervous system, but satellite is the supporting cell of the peripheral nervous system. What is the difference? Look at this one. This is the astrocyte. Astrocyte is present inside the CNS. This is the astrocyte which have many branching. So this astrocyte support a neuron, take nutrition from the blood vessel and go to the neuron. Okay, so this is the astrocyte of the CNS. This astrocyte is mainly cover, and the CNS astrocyte, two types of astrocyte: fibrous astrocyte cover the fibrous part, dendrite and axon, but the protoplasmic astrocyte cover the cytoplasm of the soma of the neuron. But satellite, what is satellite? Satellite are also the supporting cell, but these are astrocyte and satellite are very same in its function. Function of astrocyte is similar to the function of the satellite, but its location, its anatomy are different. Same function held by the satellite, same function held by the satellite, but satellite are present outside the CNS, and satellite cover the cell body of the narrow fiber, cell body of the neuron. Okay, this is the neuron. This satellite is mainly occur in the ganglion. What is mean by ganglion? Collection of cell bodies, a group of cell bodies outside the CNS is called ganglion. So the satellite cover the cell bodies, cover the ganglia of the peripheral nervous system. Okay, this is the difference of the satellite and astrocyte, similar in function but different in location. Okay.